Segmentation. To allocate the necessary resources to the right customers, the company must find out which customers they want and how they want the sales and service level, prices and quality to be. Here's an example. The new hotel Elena Village in the beautiful island Kalymnos in Greece wants to find out which customers to focus on. They have 43 large apartments, one presidential suite, a large bar area with a large pool, the most beautiful view you can find, and located 300 meters from the beach. There are two smaller hotels with respectively 21 and 10 rooms, owned by the same company and both situated nearby the new hotel. The Greek culture is as expected from a small island with fishing, sponge diving, and tourism as the main income sources. There are 15,000 inhabitants on the island, and it has newly been pointed out as the third best climbing area in the world. The hotel's mission is at this point not stated, but the mindset of both owners and employees is making your stay unique. The vision is not stated at this point either, but could be. A fine Dodecanese hotel acknowledged for superior service, Greek hospitality, and value for money. When looking at the people running the hotel, values could easily be something like memorable customer experiences, positive relationships, joint responsibilities. The goals for the next 3 years are not set at this point, but could look like this. Utilize the hotel capacity to the full during mid-June to mid-September. Prolong the season to include the period mid-September to mid-December and mid-March to mid-June, utilizing half the capacity. The hotel has 4 different types of customers at the moment: foreigners who buy their stay through an agency, foreigners who find the hotel through the internet, Greeks from other parts of Greece or from abroad visiting friends and family, locals on a one-day trip to the pool. They have 2 potential types of customers: climbers and conferences. The present customer needs, demands, and dreams are: for the foreigners who buy their stay through an agency, they are likely to want a ready-made package as it is described in the brochure from the agency. They are likely to want to stay more hours at the hotel to enjoy the pool or to go on day tours with the agency to see the island. They are more likely to eat at the hotel or a nearby restaurant than cooking in the apartment. They are likely to order what they want at the bar and bring service back when finished. For the foreigners who find the hotel through the internet, they are more likely to want to experience the island on their own. They will walk, take the bus, rent a bike or car. They are more likely to grab a piece of bread and a tomato and eat on the fly, find a restaurant that not all tourists eat at, or have a quick sandwich at the hotel's bar. They are likely to order what they want at the bar and bring back plates when finished. For the Greeks that come from other part of Greece or from abroad visiting friends and family, they are more likely to visit friends and family or have friends and family join them at the hotel. In that case, they are likely to order meals and drinks at the pool and stay there all day. They are more likely to expect being served where they are seated. They do not cluster their orders and do not bring back the dirty plates. The locals on a one-day trip to the pool are more likely to expect being served and for the waiters to run forward and back with 1 bottle of water, 1 straw and 1 coffee. Their orders are often smaller than the average orders. The potential customers. The climbing market is a rapidly growing market compared to the size of the island. The fact that the island is now considered to be the 3rd best climbing area in the world has attracted this potential customer group. The first movers were mainly backpackers sleeping on the beach or staying at cheap hotels. The potential is to attract the richer part of the climbers who appreciates a bit better accommodations. There are no records at this decision point for which customer needs, demands, and dreams this customer type has. At the moment, the company has an idea about bringing conferences to the island. The idea is not yet analyzed to see if this segment will bring good business to the company. The obvious obstacle is that the airport on Kalymnos is small and does not provide flights every day. The neighboring island Kos has an international airport and the guest has to add another hour to the trip to reach their destination. Another obstacle is that the personnel are not trained to handle conferences. The obvious strengths are that the prices are extremely low compared to what you find at most other places. both accommodation and food, which compared to local conference centers in the Western Europe, USA, or Japan, is much cheaper, even with flight tickets included. A second obvious strength is that there are lots of opportunities to enjoy active breaks in a different environment, like climbing in the mountains, talking to goats, dancing Greek dances, get on a fishing boat, or dive in the sea. Conference facilities like meeting rooms are both a pro and a con at this point, since the hotel has space, but at the same time it needs some changes for it to function as meeting rooms. An idea is to build conference facilities at the neighboring piece of land. Once the possibilities are examined, it is time to prioritize which of the customers are most important. A simple guideline is, the ones you earn most money on is the one that gets the most focus. And it is, of course, a bit more complicated than that. Let's take the hotel example again. The foreigners who buy their stay through an agency buys a package, including an airplane ticket, bus transportation, and access to a guide on different tours. They arrive in groups, and the hotel is guaranteed a number of reservations throughout the season. This means that the hotel will receive a lower price per apartment than if a guest books by the internet. The hotel has to make a best guess on how many customers will buy via the internet and how many prefer a package deal. At the same time, they have to find the right price and service level where the customers will be happy to pay, but no more than that, and where the hotel gets fully booked at all times. Balancing the price and service level so that the customers are happy to pay, but no more than that, is a balance at all times. There are ways to figure out what price and service level is likely to be the most successful for the company. Trial and error is one approach, and customer surveys about customer satisfaction is another. The new hotel has chosen a trial and error process at this point. Other opportunities could be: ask the customers about their satisfaction by placing a questionnaire in the apartment. Ask the customers for an email address to be able to send a questionnaire. Combine it with win a free stay for a week next year, and more customers will answer. Get the hotel connected to an internet site like, for instance, hotels.com, and get ratings from there. Follow the ratings given by the travel agency, where the travel agency asks the customers for their opinion about the hotel. The two customer types in the example will expect the same kind of service level, no matter if the hotel gets paid more from the one customer than the other. The customer is happily unaware that the hotel has differentiated prices when booking through the internet versus booking through an agency. Let's say that the hotel is able to earn more money on some guests more than others, and that they are willing to pay. The hotel has one idea at this point that will separate a standard apartment from a first-class apartment. 3 rooms have enough space on the terrace to install a private pool and jacuzzi. Imagine now that the hotel got into the market of rich climbers. What would they be willing to pay for as VIP guests? Private pool and jacuzzi? Room service, which is not available right now? Free bathrobe and slippers, massage, hairdresser and manicure? Cleaning every hour of the day? Fitness trainer, yoga and dance lessons on demand? Exclusive tours designed by the customer, like start the day by joining a fishing boat to fish tuna. Have lunch with fresh fish at the harbor. Visit a goat herd in the mountain and dive with a professional sponge diver. Jump in the sea from a cliff and have dinner at a private home. Join a local party late in the evening with Greek dancing. Creativity and reality is the only thing that stops a hotel from finding new ways of making money. Unfortunately, some companies have a habit of stopping creativity before it even starts. That stops innovation. If you're afraid of people losing their minds, coming up with too crazy ideas, it can be good to know that a brainstorm is not the same as implementing the whole lot. Bill Gates from Microsoft or Steve Jobs from Apple wasn't just lucky one day and suddenly came across these brilliant new solutions. Lots of brainstorming and forming ideas has passed before finally implementing anything. Look at innovation as a process like in this model. Brainstorm, investigate, select, and implement. You start by brainstorming, and where everyone can come up with any idea they like. No idea can be stopped at this point, even though the manager or another team member dislike it for reasons like, for instance, seen and heard before but rejected earlier, implemented before but it did not work, already implemented, you think, but maybe not using the idea's full potential, too crazy, out of the question, not within the strategy, too costly. You investigate in the ideas that the team or an individual find attractive. Even though the whole team except for one person is against an idea, it can be pretty brilliant after all. It is important that the scene is set so that everyone is appreciative and open-minded at this stage. Let people be creative and form each idea in details so it can at a later stage be examined whether it's doable or not. For the ideas that came up and had a no-go attached to it, you can ask questions like, this idea must be so obvious since it pops up again and again. How can we look at it in a new way? How can this idea come to life? Now that we know how not to do it, how could the idea work? What if the idea suddenly worked? What would have happened before? What if there's still potential in the idea? What kind of potential could that be? How can we go for the remaining potential? What if it was not out of the question? How could it be in question? What if the idea should be within our strategy? How could the idea look like? What if the idea could be cheaper? How would the idea look like then? After investigating in each idea and making each idea concrete, it is time to select the ideas that is smart to implement. It is decision time for the team, and the team members are allowed to come up with why a particular idea should not be implemented. Pros and cons are to be discussed, and final decision taken about which ideas to implement in which order. An action plan is drawn. Idea, description of the idea, responsible, deadline, status of implementation. The idea should be looked upon as a goal is the smart way, meaning be specific so that the team is aware of what this idea is really all about and who should be doing what. Measurable, so that everyone can see when the idea is fully implemented. Attractive, so that everyone can emotionally engage in why this idea is a great idea. Realistic, so that it has a good chance of being implemented successfully at the workplace. Time-bound, so that the team knows how long time it will take. When the ideas are in the action plan, it is time to implement them. The responsible party will start working on it to meet the deadline. The status of how far each idea has come can be taken up in performance management meetings or other team meetings. Enter the leadership path, Lead and Manage Performance, to learn more about performance management meetings. To wrap up the example with the Greek hotel, the owners and staff's creativity can be triggered by these what-if questions in the brainstorm phase. What if the market is there? What if some of these activities are not crazy? What if they only want to pay if it's expensive enough? What if it's possible? These questions and many more will hopefully help the team find many new ideas in their brainstorm. The team can continue working their way through investigate, select, and implement. Managers and teams who are quick on foot often go directly from brainstorm to implement and skip all planning that happens with investigation and selecting. That is why many ideas never come to life and many projects are launched but never finished.